Stand by. Woo! You look like you've done that before, sir. That was amazing. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish on mode, show clear. If clear, hammer down holes.
All right, welcome back. Doing it old school today, filming on the phone. The Insta360 1RS went down. It just started not connecting to the phone or the app at all. So like I have a camera that I can't get footage off of. So we're using the phone for this one. That's gone back, the camera's gone back to Insta360. So hopefully they'll fix it for me and send it back. But that is my excuse for the poor video and audio quality today. So as a lot of you guys know, I'm a bit of a SIG, I was going to say aficionado or fanboy, but I've got several P320s. I use those in IDPA and USPSA production division. It's kind of my thing there. But I've also become quite a fan of the SIG P365. I kind of had them for carry. I didn't use them for much else. But then when the macro and the new macro tac ops started coming out, I got really excited about them. I kind of stayed away from them because they weren't lefty friendly. But as IDPA developed, and that's not such a big deal anymore, I don't necessarily, for a while I told myself, like, I'm not going to shoot a gun that doesn't have a my side slide release. But now that I can do slide forward reloads in IDPA, like, that's become less of a thing for me. So anyway, this one is the SIG P365 tac ops. This one is wearing two differences from the stock one. I've got a stock one also, or close to stock. This is a Streamlight TLR7 sub, and this is the grip frame from a company called Sharps Brothers. I hadn't heard of them until my buddy found one for the regular P365, and it turns out they make a macro with removable grips, which I'm super into, with like the AXGs for 320s and stuff too. So now that these are here, I'm pretty excited about that. But let's take a look at a bit more footage. We'll come back over, take a look over the top of the guns, compare them, put them in the box, and then we'll come back at the end for some pros and cons.
Finish on mode, show clear. Clear, hammer down. Are you ready? Stand by. Okay, finish on low.
Here we are over the top of the gun. In the box, this is the CCP box, so as you can see, it fits plainly, or plainly. It fits easily for CCP. You can't see that very well. It does kind of sit up with the weight of the slide pulling it back. So I don't know, somebody at a checkpoint might give me some crap for if the thing hits it, but IDPA rule says you can force the lid of the box, even though we don't use lids anymore, down. So that should be just fine. This is more of a stock gun than the other one. Also 17 round magazine in there. We've got the back strap from FDES Works and the Go Guns gas pedal on there, but it fits just fine too. So if you've got a stock one and not the Sharps Brothers box, it'll fit in there just fine. Other than that, the weight difference on these is minimal. Well, I don't know. know, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I find it to be minimal. This is 27 and this is about 20. So if you're looking for weight, this guy's definitely got the weight on it. So yeah, let's take a look at a few more stages and we'll come back with the pros and cons. All right, so those are the stages. As you can see, that was a pretty fast match and very lefty friendly. On one of those stages, it was shoot not from the left, but not with your weak hand, with your left hand specifically. So me and the other lefties were rejoiced. We rejoiced. The whole match was built by a friend who's also left-handed, so everything was attack of the lefties, because so often we get hosed with all you right-handed people making stages. Anyway, those are the stages. They were great. The 365 Tac Ops ran excellently. So let's get into a few of the pros and cons for this guy. Pros: the Sharps Brothers grip frame. It's a little bit wider than a regular 365 Xmacro from stock, or like an Icarus frame, due to these grip panels. But also, I think the actual frame is just a little bit wider. So I looked it up, and it seems wider than it is, but it's about 0.2 inch. But when you're getting into these grips, that's quite a bit. But what I really like about it is that it's wider where it needs to be. So obviously you can't get too much wider up here where the FCU goes into the frame. But as I grip it right here, it doesn't feel any wider than when I'm holding any of the other 365s. But in my hand, in the palm of my hand, I get much more of the space in there taken up. So I really like that. I think that tends to keep the gun from moving around too much. Should my grip should take care of that, but if it doesn't, it takes it up a little more. More surface area on the gun is just better. It helps me shoot anyway. Up front on this one and all the Xmacros, you have a pick rail instead of the proprietary SIG rail. So I like that a lot better. It's a lot easier to get lights on here. Although with this one, because we have a pick rail up front and the Go Guns gas pedal, it makes the Go Guns gas pedal look kind of funky. Like it's like jutting way back here like an arm. And then I could have done without this rail down here. Like I'm not going to put a light down here because I'm not going to be able to get up. I'm always going to make a holster for, can I get a light that hangs down 8 inches? Like, no, I'm just going to make that. So, however, Four Brothers is making holsters for the gas pedal. And this was originally for an Icarus frame and the TLR7. However, it was tight with the Sharps Brothers one. I figured it would be close because they both have I don't know if you can see it, I'm just show myself, the wings on the side here. But it went in just fine. However, it was a little tight, so I hit it with a heat gun, and Bob's your uncle, it's working just fine. The stock recoil spring in this gun cycled the 105, 108 power factor that I use in CCP division, and it cycled it just fine. There's a lot of guns that that won't do it. It's just the stock spring's too heavy, and it's not going to cycle that stuff. So I appreciate that I did not need to go with the DPM or something. I could just put this together as I bought it. Most of the stuff I didn't buy it as a gun. I bought it as in individual pieces. So yeah, that's definitely a plus. I definitely think it's a pro that this is for CCP division, certainly. This is the non-ported slide, so you get a little bit extra sight radius and a little bit extra barrel length, so that'll probably eke out a little bit more power factor than something with like the ported barrel would with the 3.1 inch barrel. The Four Brothers holsters, like I already mentioned, fit this guy, fit it really well with just a little bit of modification. So if you're looking for appendix rig, I think they make outside the waistband holsters too, but in IDPA, I'm trying to get more in line with what I do every day carrying guns. So I want to shoot appendix as much as I can, and so far it's a blast. So if you haven't tried it, give it a try. Definitely a good time. And last thing on here is a reversible mag release. Somebody who wrote that doesn't know what they're doing. And I'll get into this in the cons, but this is almost just a little bit too small. Maybe it's because I'm piecing parts together and this is for a regular 365. But anyway, it is reversible, so I do get that little bit of left-handed friendliness. Okay, getting into the cons. This isn't really kind of the gun, it's more of the frame, but like Sharps Brothers, like wood. Like, this isn't a 1980s station wagon. Like we need some G10 on here. It'd be cool if they did brass, but like this thing doesn't really need a bunch more weight. But you know, I got brass grips on the AXG 320, and that kind of is a palm swell brass grip, so it adds weight and it adds surface tension. So that would be cool to see on something like this. But I emailed them and I said, hey, you know, I didn't tell them like, hey, the wood is stupid and ugly, but it is. But they said they're going to have G10 coming out for those, and it's black. So everybody knows black guns shoot better because they're more tactical. So and I just think they look better. So all one color. So that is coming in the future. Another con on this guy. These are a little bit small. The gas pedal up here, like, I don't think you really need them on here all that much, but like, it is a little bit small. So my thumb hits it in just about the right spot, so no problem with where it is. It's just a little bit small. It's knurled there, so I do like that. So you're having trouble taming the 105 power factor ammo, maybe that knurling will keep your hand on the gun. The mags are hard to find. Maybe in the country that you live in, which is the United States of America, outside of Washington State, you can probably find them easier. But I know they make 10-round macro mags, but nobody's stocking them here, at least that I can find. And so, I'm stuck with the 10-round magazines that I've got. Yeah. Oh, and an interesting side note, the 17-round sized magazines will fit in the box as you saw before. The 15 rounds will not. So, because they do the same thing as a 365 magazine where they kind of like angle down at the front and they won't let you get in the box. So I did some magic with the 17-round mag, but it's working. Another con kind of the grip frame, not the gun, is that if you go with the Sharps Brothers, turn the light on. You go with the Sharps Brothers grip frame, there's no magwell for it that I'm aware of. I mean, that's not that big of a deal because it's pretty taken care of in there. I don't know if anybody can see that, but there's a pretty big magwell there. But you do get a magwell on the stock frame with the tac ops. No right side slide release, like I said before. That's not really the end of the world anymore with slide forward reloads. I think I went to slide lock like one time and doing it in the footage you saw, and the slingshot wasn't really all that slower. I mean, it'd take a moment in time, but whatever. This one does kind of bug me, is that this mag release is just almost a little bit too small. Like, I can get in there, I can hit it, the mag drops out just fine, but it's just a little bit small compared to, I have another one, and I tried to switch them, but I couldn't get the other one out. So I've got an extended slide release on a different 365. It's an aftermarket one. I want to say it's from Marbury Craft, but I don't remember. But yeah, it's just a little bit too small. And that, like I said before, it could be because I've got so many parts for these that I'm using like the smaller one that I'm supposed to be. But yeah, so like I said, the mags fall out just fine, but definitely moving forward, I'll be transitioning that to a extended slide release. So that's pretty much it for this guy. I really like shooting it. I really think that it's going to be a good CCP gun. I'm probably going to go with this moving forward, or at least that's my plan. Every time I say something in one of these videos, like, this is what I'm going to do in the future, I end up doing something different. So I guess you'll find out what I do. But yeah, kind of like the closing thoughts or final thoughts on this guy is that it's close enough to what I carry every day. So I carry a 365 X, and it's close enough to that I feel like when I'm competing in like CCP, or I've been shooting in SPD because I wanted to try the 15 round division thing, or 15 rounds. But it's close enough to my carry gun that I feel like I'm getting good practice with my carry gun, or with a gun that's similar enough to my carry gun. It's close enough to my carry gun, but it's also close enough to a gun that's competitive in the division. So I'm not like, just out here doing nothing because I'm shooting a gun that's not competitive. So I really think it's a good mix between those two. I still think it'd probably be a good idea to run the carry gun every once in a while just to see how it goes, and I probably will. But yeah, so we've got the Western Washington Regional coming up. That's in April. I hope I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure it's in April. And then in July, I know this one, we've got the Washington State IDPA Championship coming up. So having a good time in the off season, building more guns, spending way too much money, and showing you what they're all about. So if you like videos like this, check out the playlist. There's a playlist. And if you have the time and the means, check out www.dz-214.com, where you can donate to the veterans charities that we support. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.
You're finished on motion clear. Let's clear, hammer down.
Hey, everybody had the same chance I had.
Distinguished master lefty.